Hey everybody, so today I'm going to have a little fun with the top 15, which top 15s are always fun anyway. I'm going to do my top 15 favorite Montreal Canadiens. Now, I know I've done a video similar to this before. It was a top 10. But I'm going to do top 15, and there might be a couple of different guys on here, but it's all for fun, and here we go. My top 15 Montreal Canadiens, while obviously that I saw play, not before my time, but that I saw play. We're going to start with number 15. Actually, we're going to start with two honorable mentions. Excuse me. First honorable mention for me is Jeff Hackett. He was a goalie that came in, I want to say, after Patrick Roy left, we had Jocelyn Thibault, who was in the trade. And I think after they traded Thibault, they got Hackett. They might have traded Thibault for Hackett. I'm not 100. Don't like write it down in stone that that's what happened. But Hackett came in around that time. He was a good goaltender. Just everything about him I liked. I don't know. He had a good personality. He was a good goalie. One of those kind of stand-up kind of guys. Anyways, this is a guy that I really liked. So that's Jeff Hackett. Next up is this guy is here right now, and maybe a little early in his career to say this, but I really like this kid. And everybody who watches my channel kind of knows that. So, and that obviously is Nick Suzuki. Nick Suzuki. So these are my two honorable mentions. I don't have to tell you about Nick Suzuki. I think everybody knows about him right now. Great kid. Really has like the moon and the stars ahead of him. His ceiling is really high, and I think he's going to be a great player for Montreal Canadiens. So now to number 15, the actual number 15, and that's going to be a guy that was traded for our captain, and that is PK Subin. PK Subin was my favorite player, along with Brendan Gallagher. I'd carried Price when he was here. And I really like the guy. It's a shame that, after he left here, his career's kind of gone downhill. But I think that's a lot to do with his outside of hockey life. I personally think that. He's got a lot of distractions outside of his hockey life, and I think he needs to maybe, a little bit more concentration on hockey, and he'd get those numbers back up and his prominence, or his, that's not the word I'm looking for, but his spot back in hockey. So that's number 15. Number 14 is a big guy, John Leclair. John Leclair was here, I want to say, for about 4 or 5 seasons. He really didn't reach prominence till he was in Philadelphia playing with Eric Lindros. But he's from Vermont, which borders on Quebec. So he's almost a local kid and really loved playing here. Just one of those good characters, and I always liked John Leclair, and I was really unhappy when they traded him away, and always kind of knew that this kid had big things in him, and he did. I think he had 3 seasons of 50 goals, and yeah, just great player. Really liked the guy, John Leclair. Next up was, I don't know, I think he was a captain. I think he was, I'm not sure anyway. Really great player. We got him from Edmonton after his 1 season in Edmonton, and even though he was a former Toronto Maple Leaf, still liked the guy. And that's Vinny Damphousse. Damphousse was, he wasn't, I want to say frustrating, but I only mean it in that you always expected more from this guy. He still put up, I think his best season was 97 points, scored 40 goals. I think he was the last one to score 40 goals for Montreal. But for some reason, always expected more from him, but I like Damphousse. You can rely on him, and just a really great player. So Vinny Damphousse at number 13. Number 12 is a guy we got at the trading deadline, can't remember the season, 2005, something like that. A great hockey player who gave us 4 or 5 seasons here that everybody loved. He had so much talent, but he never, ever put it out on the ice all at one time. And by that you should know, is Alex Kovalev. Alex Kovalev had so much talent. He never brought it every night. He didn't bring it every night. Most nights he was there, but there were a lot of nights where he didn't bring it at all. But you could see this kid had so much talent, and it's just too bad that he never put it all together on any one particular night. What was it? There was a quote I heard about a player once that he had all the tools in the toolbox, but he never brought them all to the game, to every game. That's kind of Alex Kovalev. Number 11 is a guy that's here right now. And the other one, hopefully a future captain of Montreal. And that, of course, is Brendan Gallagher. I should have just wrote Galley. A lot easier. Brendan Gallagher, heart and soul of the Montreal Canadiens right now. I know I put him in a video and I said he's not an untouchable. I get that because business-wise, look at hockey, he's not. But he's definitely, he's got to be, besides Nick Suzuki, I think it's Gallagher who's my favorite player. There's so many right now on the team that I like. And, yeah, just he's the heart and soul of the team, never gives up, always tries hard, in tight at the goal. That's where he works. That's his office, somewhere in the crease. And I just love the guy. Always comes out of the scrum with a smile. The only time he didn't was when last season him and PK had a couple of run-ins in a couple of games against New Jersey, and yeah, they don't like each other. Next up at number 10, so making it into the top 10, is a guy that wasn't the most talented guy, but he made the most of his talent with his hard work and just a great guy who would run or skate through a brick wall for Montreal Canadiens. And that is Josh Georges. Josh Georges, even if you could say, I don't really like the guy, you got to respect that guy. He would do anything to stop the puck from getting to the net. He would do anything to support one of his players. He would do anything. And then I remember one game where I don't know if he ran into the boards head first. Something happened head-wise. We were all sure he's out for a while. Played the next game. Guy was amazing. Loved Josh Georges. And it was one of those trades. We got him by trading Craig Rivet. We got a draft pick in that. And that became Max Pacioretty, which then became Tatar and Suzuki, and I believe Mattias Norlinder from that draft pick. Okay, enough of that. Number 9. One of my favorite all-time Habs, an old-timer. I think everybody loves him. Turned into a great coach as well. And that is Larry Robinson. Larry Robinson is a guy that I met once. I delivered a pizza to him. He had a business here in Montreal called Dingies, where they did car detailing. He was part owner. And my boss at the pizza place was friends with him. And I delivered to him once, and I got his autograph, which I showed in a video, a hockey card video, or maybe even twice. So, yeah, Larry Robinson, great hockey player, one of the big three. And you couldn't go around him, and he was like running into an oak tree. That's how big and strong and solid this guy was. But talent, wow. I think one year he had like 80, I don't know if it was 80 points or 80 assists. This guy was a talented hockey player, really talented guy. Number 8, another current player. So move over to this board, current player and goalie. So you know who it is Carey Price. Now, Carey Price, again, I put him in that video as being not an untouchable. And I think that's the case. Does it mean I don't like Carey Price? I love the guy. I hope he stays here his whole career, but he isn't an untouchable with that contract. Literally, if you could move it, you might, because you can win a Stanley Cup without having a goalie of that quality. You really can. You don't. I mean, how many Stanley Cup winners have a goalie of Carey Price's quality? Not that many. So that was my point, and that's why he's not an untouchable. But he is one of my all-time favorite goalies, and I think now that's one goaltender. That's 2. I know there's another one up here. I can look here and tell you, but I think, yeah, of 3 goalies that I have up here, yeah, that's 2 of them. Next up, number 7. He's the guy that is right here, Frank Mahovlich. Frank Mahovlich, now he retired in the 70s, so obviously for the young guys, that's not okay. For the young viewers of mine, you might not really know Frank Mahovlich that well. This guy was an amazing hockey player. We got him in 71 during the season. We traded I'm talking too fast. Mickey Redmond for him. Mickey Redmond was an up-and-coming future star, but we needed Frank Mahovlich. We won the cup. A lot of it due to the acquisition of Mahovlich. He brought with him a ton of scoring. He never had a season here in Montreal where he was less than a point a game, and I think every season was over a point a game. He was a big, strong goal scorer, good skater, just just a great hockey player, so much fun to watch. And yeah, Frank Mahovlich, one of my all-time favorites. And that's one of the reasons. Yeah, this was given to me by one of my subscribers, yes. And it's not the reason only that it's here. It's because I really like Frank Mahovlich and I want it prominent. I don't have a ton of other pictures. If anybody wants to send, that's not a problem. I'll accept them and I'll put them up. But yeah, I love Frank Mahovlich. He was a great player. Whereas on the other hand, you'll see in another video that I'm going to do soon, I wasn't that big on his brother. Oddly, anyway, a great player, but it's weird. I'll explain it in that video that I'm going to do. Actually, it's the next video to this. Number 6. Number 6. He was here for the last Stanley Cup win. Captain Kirk. Kirk is Work Muller. He is a coach on the team, coaching the power play unit right now. Kirk Muller, a great hockey player. I always have this memory of us playing Sega Genesis hockey. It wasn't NHL hockey, but and this is my wife. She would whenever she was playing and she would score or be going to score, like racing up, she would always be go Muller, go Muller, go Muller. I always remember that. I always picked him in every fantasy pool that I was in, and he always did well for me. He got a lot of points when he was here, and I love Kirk Muller. So he's number 6. Number 5. Number 5, he's not currently on the team. He's another old-timer. He is right up there with John Ferguson as the best tough guy that Montreal has ever had. And that obviously is Knuckles Nyland. Chris Nyland. Great fighter. Not a big guy. I think he's 5'10", 5'11", so he's not a big guy, tall-wise. But he knows how to fight. He's tough as nails, never backs down. And the bonus to all that was the guy was a hockey player. They turned him into a hockey player. He had one season, I think, of 21 goals, one season of 19 goals. The guy could put the puck in the net when needed, here and there, and he could play hockey. Legitimately, Chris Nyland could today come in and be a fourth liner with that skill set that he had. So he was a legitimate hockey player and a tough guy. And a guy you want on your team when there's some fighting to go on. Number 4. Number 4, one of my favorites of all time. Not the best hockey player, but a solid, good hockey player. And that is Shane Corson, number 27. I think Shane Corson is the reason why I love the number 27. I don't take number 10. Guy Lafleur's you'll find out soon. But I don't take number 10 because I could never, ever live up to that kind of... but number 27 always been one of my favorite numbers. When I did play seniors, old-timers hockey, I wore number 27. I used to work at that pizza place, and there were 3 guys, I think, from Iran that worked there, really nice guys. And one of them, Kazra, his favorite player in the world was Shane Corson. He thought he was the best player in the world. So it's just another memory of Shane Corson. But I love that guy. He's one of those guys, he wasn't the best, but just something about him I really liked. Number 3, this guy I think I would run through a brick wall for. Former captain from, I believe he's from Finland. I don't want to say, I don't want to screw that up. I think he's from Finland. And that is Saku Koivu. Saku Koivu was captain here for 10 years. Longest captain, I think, in the history of the Canadiens. Second, either he's right behind Beliveau or he's just ahead of Beliveau for that. Yeah, he never won a cup here. Yeah, that's not his fault. This kid, if he didn't get injured by Jim Cummins, there was a game. I think he was right at the top of the league in points, 35 points. It was early in the season. And Jim Cummins, in a dirty knee-on-knee, took him out. And he was never the same after that. This kid had, Saku Koivu had so much talent. If he only had 2-3 inches on him, amazing. And if he would have spoke a little French in Montreal, some French people here in Montreal would like him a lot better. Saku Koivu was a great hockey player and a great person and a great man. And his recovery from coming back from the Hodgkin's disease, that's it, Rick. Amazing. You see that today, the game they show. I've seen it on reruns. Gives me chills. Amazing guy. Yeah, I know. I'm effusing about Saku Koivu. Next up, the next goalie on this list. So if you guys know me, if you watch my videos, you know who the next two players are, because I just said one's a goalie, and that's Patrick Roy. Patrick Roy is my favorite Habs goalie. Do I think he's the best goalie of all time? Maybe not, but he's the best money goalie of all time. Patrick Roy, if I'm in a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, that's the goalie I want in the net. He had a way of, at whatever point in the game, if he got to that point and he said, that's it, nothing else is getting past me, guess what? Nothing else got past him 99 out of 100 times. He was just that money goalie, great goalie, love Patrick Roy. Used to have his poster on my wall, and just love that guy. No matter whatever happened here, I don't think that was his fault. I hate Mario Tremblay now for that. I don't think that was his fault. Maybe he overreacted a little bit, but that's how things were. He was a star goalie, shouldn't have been left in for that long, and it was a personal thing between him and Tremblay, so I don't blame the guy for getting mad. And it's too bad they traded him away, that they had to. I think Montreal is just starting to recover from trading Patrick Roy away. That's how important he was. Next up, and if you know me and you watch my videos at all, I don't have to really put it up there. You guys know who my #1 favorite Montreal Canadian is, and that is Guy Lafleur. I love Guy Lafleur. With the flying hair, taking that shot from the blue line. That was that famous game where they were about to lose. They were goal down going into the third period, and against Boston. And I think there was a couple of minutes left. There was almost no time left, and Lafleur, they put him out, and there was a penalty. Too many men on the ice for Boston, and Lafleur comes racing down, fires that shot, and I don't know if they would have won that cup. I think that's 79. I don't know if they would have won. If he doesn't, I don't think they could have beat them, and that would have been the game and the series, and they would have been out. Guy Lafleur, the greatest Montreal Canadian to ever play, my opinion. Okay, so that's it. I can go on and on about Guy Lafleur. I just did a video about him, so you might want to check that out. It was a poem that I wrote for him. So anyway, so that's it. I'm babbling here because I love these players. They're Habs, and they're great Habs, all of them, to a man. They're all great. And my favorites. So if you like the video, give a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Head down there. Leave me any comments. Who you disagree with, who you think I'm crazy about putting up there, and who you would have up there. Do that in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, ring that notifications bell, and that is going to get you your daily fix of blue, blanc, rouge right here at Talking Habs. So once again, thanks everybody for watching. Please, as always, I say, keep safe, wash those hands, wear a mask, stay home as much as you can, and watch Talking Habs videos. Thanks for watching. Peace out, everybody.